This is my 1981 Ibanez Blazer. Some of you might have seen it in one of my previous videos there with the Jarock, whatever it is. Pretty cool guitar. I love it. I've owned it for a good few years now. I bought this for £150 from a friend a couple of years back, so really good deal on this for what it is. I know some of these go for a lot more. It's a twin humbucker version, EHH version, and it's quite banged up. You know, you can see here on the top, around the sides there's a load of dings, back's all scratched, all the edges here, big chunk out of it just there. Yeah, cool guitar though. So today I'm going to do something a wee bit different with this guitar. I've had an idea for a long time and it's a bit crazy. I didn't know how to do it, and I got a really nice piece of Redwood. Now I'm told that it is 2,500 to 3,000 years old. I don't know how they know that, but that's what the seller said, so I'll take his word for it. Doesn't matter anyway, it's a beautiful piece of wood, lovely figuring, and we're going to try to put that top on this Blazer. Now, if you get upset with me modifying a 1989 Fender Stratocaster by just routing out room for the two pickups to go together at the back, this is really going to upset you. So yeah, bit of a trigger warning for you purists out there, but I don't care, I'm going to do it. Plan is to run this body through my planer with the hope that we'll take off most of the round over. Might make the body a wee bit thinner in the end, I don't know, we'll see. I think the bit of Redwood I have, 6mm, 6.1, something like that. The round off looks a wee bit more, but yeah, we'll try it anyway, see how it goes. So yeah, glue the top to this here then after it's planed, and just use the router with the bottom bearing bit to trim around the outside in the hope that we don't chip out anything, and we get the top fitting nicely to this. Give it a new round over, and then I haven't quite decided yet. I'm sure you'll see by the thumbnail what I went with, but I'm thinking single humbucker and just route it into the top so there's no pick guard, because it is a really nice piece of wood. Now the bit of wood I did choose has most of the figuring on this side here, and I did that intentionally thinking that I was going to put the pick guard on, so I might just use the router bit to route the existing cavity out, put a pick guard on it as it is, and that'll cover the sort of bit of wood that doesn't have that much figuring on it. But yeah, I'm undecided yet. That's something I can decide later. But I'm very tempted by the idea of either a single humbucker or maybe a single P90. Might look very nice there. And then we'll just have to do a back cavity for the controls, which is fine, and maybe a side output jack as well. But that's really taking it to extremes. If we want to keep it the sort of original style, then I'll just write this, but I think it's going to be a really fancy top. The only bit I'm concerned about is it's going to be a nice, fresh, lovely looking new top, and the rest of it is still quite dinged up, so I might have to take time to take this finish off and refinish the whole thing. I'm not 100% sure I want to do that yet. Again, cross that bridge when it comes to it. We'll see how it looks with the top on it, and yeah, we'll go from there. It's either going to be the best idea I've ever had or the most stupid idea I've ever had. I think there's no in between.
You wanted just to lap it off?
No, I want to take it down by about 6 millimeters. Does it fit? Screw it. Sand it. It worked way better than I thought it would. I was really worried about getting some snipe here, but it's worked perfectly. That's just the ding that I had in the body already, but yeah. Let's measure it and see where we're at. We should be around 40 millimeters now. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it down another 2 millimeters, take it to about 38. So I've been quite cautious cutting that out with the bandsaw. I didn't go too close to the edges. There's no real need. Once we glue this on, it's going to be routed anyway, so I'm being extra careful. So yeah, let's get it glued on, see how it looks. Well, hopefully that will do it. Seems pretty tight, but I'll leave it overnight and yeah, see if I fucked it up or not. Hopefully not. Okay, I've been nervous about this all night. Started to panic that I maybe didn't clamp it right. I'm pretty sure I have, but yeah, got a bit of a panic on. What I should have done is get a bit of wood, ran it across the middle here, top and bottom, and clamped it to get a bit more pressure in the middle. But yeah, let's take this apart and see. So it worked out pretty well. I did get some clamping marks that I'll have to sort out, but not a big deal. Front and back. But yeah, I'll get them out. It won't be an issue. So yeah, I need to route this out, and hopefully I don't chip any of the edges out. We'll see how it looks when it's routed. well, here we go. That's it all routed to the edge. Now you probably saw it caused a bit of damage. That was the bearing that did that. Yeah, so it's not a big deal. I seen it as soon as I started and decided to just go ahead with it because I'm going to run it through my spindle sander anyway, just to get it nice and tight. And then I'll put a very gentle round edge on this, and I'll route whatever I'm doing. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to put the pick guard on or not. I'll probably lay it on here and have a look and see what I think. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty happy with it so far. And I am going to run it through the planer to get rid of the spots that I've damaged. The likes of here and here. I think that was there already, but yeah. So run it through the planer again, take this coat of finish off, spindle sander the sides of it nice and gently, take the finish off completely, and I'll not be lazy. I will respray it or refinish it in some way. So here we go. I kind of think that the pick guard suits the body shape because it's not exactly symmetrical at the bottom here. Kind of curves off. It's such a nice top as well. I can decide this later. That is pretty much all the finish off it now. So the horns are an absolute nightmare to sand, but that's it, pretty much done. So the only real ding I have left in it is this nasty one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try fill that with some glue and sawdust and then sand it down, but I'm not too bothered by it. So here's where we're at. I routed this little bit for the string ball ends to sit in, and I'm going to go for a single P90 in the bridge, no pick guard, and a couple of reasons for that. If I screw this up, screw routing it up, we can still go for the pick guard, no big deal. But also, ideally what I wanted was a single humbucker here. I'm not a fan of pickup rings. I don't want to put a pickup ring on this. So it would have had to be wood mounted. And my fear with that is it's hollow under this top where the original route was. So if I do a wood mounted humbucker, then you might see a gap at the sides where it mounts in. Yeah, that's something if I'd thought it at the start, maybe could have put a block of wood in here in the cavity or something like that, but it's not a big deal. P90 would be cool anyway. So yeah, probably going to go about here. Just need to have a little play around with it, consider how it looks. But the bridge is good, it's all lined up. So that's the top now, sanded to 320 grit. Difficulty with this top is it's so soft that if you look at it the wrong way, it scratches. So I've cleaned it up, and what I've done is I've mixed up 30 milliliters of epoxy resin, and I don't know this for certain, but in theory it sounds like it should work. I'm thinking if I just put a tiny coat of resin on this, it'll not only grain fill it, but it'll also hopefully seal the top and harden it for me, make it a wee bit more durable. So I'm going to put that on now, and hopefully I don't fuck it up. This does scare me a little bit, so I'm just going to put a wee tester bit beside the bridge here. Yeah, okay.
One eternity later.
But here we go. So this is looking absolutely fantastic. Obviously there's a lot of orange peel on it. I'm so happy with how this has turned out. It's really nice. Time now to spend a lifetime finish sanding it. Ideally I would have had the grain running the opposite way, but I didn't have enough material, so it is what it is. But yeah. Alright, so I fucked up.
We fucked up.
You can see all these light patches here. Basically what happened was I was polishing it with a car polisher for the first time, trying it out, and I burnt through the finish here. So I then tried to sand it back, got most of it back to the bare wood, and thought that putting on a gloss oil finish would solve the issue. But now what we have is we've got some of the old finish here, and then the new gloss. So it's just me being lazy, trying to make a quick fix for a poor mistake. But yeah, what I'm going to have to do now is sand this right back again and basically start again in the spray booth. That's me back to where I was pretty much. And yeah, just need to clean this up. What happened was the finish was probably a bit too soft. Now I did try let it cure for 3 days inside, but for some reason still too soft. Probably me going too hard at it as well, and I've put a big ring burn just up here, right in the finish where I've dug in with the polisher. Alright, so we are back. Here's how it's looking. So this time what I've done is, instead of doing the really high gloss that I had and then having to wait and finish sand it and do all that, which obviously I'm not very good at, I've put my usual nitrocellulose lacquer coat onto it, and it feels really nice as it is. Probably give it a very slight rub down whenever this is properly cured, but that's not going to be probably for a month or so. Flip to this side. Now I got a scratch in it here somewhere along the ways, and I don't know when, but that's under my new finish. I didn't notice it, but sure, here's what it is. I bought some magnets for this plate. Now this does need rub down and finished a bit more, but I'll do that after. So what I've got is, this doesn't fit entirely flush with the body. There's probably about maybe 1.5 millimeters, maybe not even as much, that probably about 1 millimeter of a gap between the body and the back plate. And as you can see, there's a wee bit to get your thumb in here. That in fact was a chunk I took out with a router, and I've just kind of rubbed it down slightly.
inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit.
So this P90 is a pickup I got from Tones Forge. They messaged me probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago on Instagram and asked if I'd be interested in one of their pickups. So they said they'd send me this P90. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have to pay for it. If I did like it, then I could buy it. And it wasn't a sponsorship or anything like that. I was paying for it. So yeah, I loved it. Put it in my Les Paul project, and yeah, used it ever since, and decided, you know what, it's time for this here. I think I'm going to upgrade that Les Paul to a humbucker, so time for it to go on this. So I literally always forget to put the ground wire in on the bridge, so I've just taken the bridge off and done that. No point showing you. Now I needed to decide where the volume knob's going to go. So the volume knob would go here on the pick guard, and I'm not sure I like it that close. And then you've got all this empty space here. So I mean, this is where I could totally mess this up, but I'm thinking kind of right in the middle here. So visualize it. You know, so neck needs to come down slightly. I'm thinking about 1 millimeters. I did route it ever so slightly. I'm trying to kind of doing a bit of trial and error with this because there was a neck shim in it. I'm trying to get it right without the neck shim, so I'm going to take it down another millimeter, and I think we should be right. Here, what do you think?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound promising.
Well, because the hands cover loads.
Oh, sorry.
So
What do you think?
I don't like the.
It's still
I don't like the pickup.
You don't like the pickup? Why? Because it's cream, or?
Yeah. And the shape and like everything.
Oh.
It's very old-fashioned looking.
Well, it's 1981.
Okay, if you want to fit that in, then yeah.
Okay, well.
Emotional damage.
don't worry, if you're a hater or you think that I should have left this alone, kept it original, it's okay. I kept all the shavings from the top so I can restore it back to standard, back to original spec if I want to in the future. So yeah, don't worry about that.